Welcome to another unboxing video. For this video, we are going to be unboxing Kocho Shinobu off of Kimetsu no Yaiba, or just Demon Slayer. I actually picked up two figures in this box. The other one is Rengoku from the newest Figure Arts line release. So for this Kocho figure, she is made by Kotobukiya, and she's part of that ARTFX J line. She's a 1/8 scale, so she's supposed to be around a little bit under like 10 inches tall. So yeah, I picked up both figures off of amiami.com. I had pre-orders for both. She was supposed to be released back in January. It got pushed back until late February. So I ended up paying both of these figures on February 24th. They shipped it out to me on February 26th. I ended up picking it up a little bit later than usual for EMS shipping on March 17th. So the Figure Arts Zero Rengoku figure cost me 5,940 yen, which comes out roughly $50. And then the Kocho RFX J figure cost me 12,400 yen, which comes off roughly $104. And then I chose EMS shipping, which cost 8,300 yen. That comes out to be a little bit under $70. Altogether, it actually cost me $231.85. I did the foreign exchange rate on March 19th, so it looks like back in late February, it actually costs a little bit less now than it did then if you're buying with USD. And also there was all these other shipping options as well. I finally, I took a screenshot of what, how much it would be if you ended up getting a different shipping price, or if you decide to go the cheapest route, which is a surface parcel, which takes the longest, but it is the cheapest. You're gonna save more money. So yeah, I decided to unbox that Figure Arts Zero Kocho figure right before I got this figure, because now we have a couple figures to kind of compare to. I've been looking online, and then I've seen many people talk about, they're complaining about the face. So that's one thing in particular I really want to take a look at once I get to opening this box, is how does her face look? Because that's one of the most important aspects to a figure, in my opinion. So all right, before I start unboxing this figure, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. I really appreciate you guys leaving comments. I really appreciate, the people that are coming back to watch more of it. It really tells me that I am still on that right track, that, I'm doing a decent job at this, and, I'm going to keep improving. And I really appreciate you guys coming back to watch more of the video. If there's anything I'm doing poorly at, I take criticism pretty well. So if you guys have anything to say that's constructive, I welcome that as well. Not just the really good comments. So thanks again. Thank you guys for coming to this channel. I thank you. And then also check out my blog at otakusin.com. That is where I do figure reviews there as well. So anything I missed in this video, it would be on that blog, and I update that blog. If I do anything with my figures, if anything breaks or I end up selling it in the future, it's going to be on that blog. And I also cover anime. There was a new movie that came out in the United States, Jujutsu Kaisen Zero. So I did do a movie review. So if you guys want to, you can check that out. There's also other animes I cover, like Ranking of Kings is about to be over. I'm covering that. There's Attack on Titan. And if you guys are struggling with managing your money and budgeting, I actually made a blog post on my website as well, how I use a spreadsheet and how I use credit cards to save money and keep track of all my finances. So I hope that blog post might help you, or at least put you in the right direction of managing your money. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate the comments. To the older subscribers, welcome back. And to the new ones, I hope these, you guys like these newer videos as well. I'm trying to come up with other new video ideas besides unboxing videos that would be very good as well. So if you guys have any ideas for what I can do, don't be afraid to comment or DM me or whatever. So yeah, let's go ahead and unbox this figure. Just one thing I want to note about this package though. So there are two figures in here. So I had the Rengoku Figure Arts Zero figure, and I also had the Kotobukiya Kocho figure in here as well. It came in the 140 box, and this is the first time where I got a box with a little dent in the box right here. But let's just open it and see how well it held up. Here is the little Ami Ami thank you card. As always, Ami Ami does a really good job packing the crap out of their boxes. This one is the Rengoku Figure Arts Zero figure that I got alongside the Kotobukiya Kocho figure. So I will cover this figure in another video. Alright, it looks like she comes shrink wrapped. Alright, let's talk about the box real quick. The presentation, as always, I really enjoy it. They did a really good job. Like I said with Kotobukiya, their figure boxes is something that we should be expecting when we get any scale figures, because they do a really good job with, you know, presentation of all sides of the box. You know, on the sides you have the picture of Kocho, you have cutouts. They picked the right design with the kind of the watercolors, I guess that's what you call it, with the black and then the white. So yeah, I think this figure box, the presentation looks pretty good. I think when you open this, or you take a look at the box, you are getting something special. So that is the most important part of presentation. All right, so let's open this box. We have 3 little stickers on the end, so really easy to cut down. Alright, so here is the inside of the box. Here is what the manual looks like. It looks like an easy assembly. And you know how much I like manuals, no matter how dumb it is to put 2 pieces or 3 pieces together. I like this. Alright, like all the figures, you kind of have the 2 big plastic boxes kind of smashed together, and then they kind of tape the outside of it. So let's just go ahead and take out the tape. Alright, and here on the package, looks like they had to put a little piece right here to kind of help the base stay up and not like just break off. Yeah, just be very careful when you guys take out the packaging off the base, because it looks like it's kind of fragile. One wrong move and then this thing could like kind of snap off. And man, so far, just the base and her, the fact that she's already on the base as well, like this, I'm digging it, man. It's really dope. They did a really good job. And I already know, man, I like this more than the Figure Arts Zero one already. And then underneath, you got the other piece of her base, and then you have her sword. And of course, they got it taped down. And here is the other part of her base. And here is her sword. Yeah, just be careful because the sword on the end, it is kind of like sharp. If you can see on her sword, it's kind of difficult to see, but the kanji is actually engraved rather than like painted on. So that is a really cool little bit of detail that makes this figure that much cooler. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put the sword through her hand, and then the little pointy side is actually sticking up. Alright, you're gonna put it right through this hole. Yeah, you'll notice that like how easy that was to stick it through the hole. Her hand opening is actually, it's on the looser side rather than the tighter side. Majority of the time when I put any like sword or any accessory onto through a hand of a figure, is usually really tight. I gotta like open up the hand to insert it. But it looks like for this Kotobukiya figure, they made her hand like conveniently a little bit looser. And it still stays in place, as you can see. Like it's moving around, but like it's gonna stand still. As long as it stays in her hand, it does what it needs to do, which just fits in place easily. And then you could take it out easily as well. So that is a really nice thing about this figure right here. So yeah, this is like the other part of her base. You can see that little peg hanging down to kind of insert. And it was kind of hard to kind of identify it, but you guys will see it enough. And if you can see that little hole right there, you're just going to stick that last piece of the base right into this hole. And boom, just like that, it's on there. The little butterfly piece on her figure is actually not that, it doesn't feel as fragile. It's really, really light. It kind of just like slips into that little hole. Just want to make sure it's not moving around. See, it's in pretty sturdy as I'm tapping it. It's not really moving. And if you need to, you could go ahead and just push in right here to kind of get that piece to stick in as much as possible. And there you have it. The insect Hashira. Alright, let's talk about this figure. So yeah, I got this figure from AmiAmi.com. I bought it along with the Rengoku figure. So I paid for her on February 24th. It got shipped on February 26th. And I ended up picking her up from the post office on March 17th. So the shipping, I guess during this time I saw online as well, like a lot of people are having trouble with their EMS shipping. Generally I get it like within like a week or maybe a little bit over a week. But yeah, when times get busy, and also you kind of have like this Russia-Ukraine thing going on. I could see how it took them basically like 3 weeks for it to come home. But I'm happy she's here. She was a little bit cheaper than DHL. If you wanted to pay the DHL price, the DHL price was 10,898 yen. So that would have came out to be $91.41. So the EMS shipping that I paid for was 8,300 yen. And it was about 70 bucks. So altogether, if I would have paid DHL, I might have paid like slightly higher if I bought it straight from the retail store for both figures. In general though, for $231.85, what I actually paid, that is roughly what, you know, I might have saved a little bit of money by buying it off AmiAmi. But yeah, I got it sooner than everyone else. That's typically what I go for, EMS or DHL shipping. I want it fast, I want it here now. Put it on a plane, don't put it on a boat. And if I'm gonna wait that long, I'm just gonna buy it from like Right Stuff Anime. I'm just gonna buy it from a US retail store. As always, I say, you know, there are different risks. When you buy it from Japan, if you don't have insurance, you're now dealing with whether or not a company overseas want to help compensate you if anything happens to the figure. In the States or domestically, wherever you're from, they have way better return policies, and then they're way more willing to compensate you for if anything happens with the figure. So those are risks you're gonna have to weigh. And so right now, so far, it's going really good with me buying it overseas from like Hobby Link Japan or AmiAmi or any of those sites from Japan. So far, I'm happy. The price is really good. I saved a little bit of money by buying it from AmiAmi. It's up to you guys whether or not you deem that, you know, saving that little bit of money or that slower shipping. The surface parcel was what, 2,900 yen. The exchange rate that I did it on March 19th was about $24, 25 bucks. So if you're willing to wait, you're just gonna save so much money from shipping by being patient, you know. But like I said, the risk is always you wait, you know, 1 to 3 to 5 to 6 months, and all of a sudden you get a figure that, you know, it's not something is wrong, you know. So it's that long period of time where you just don't know if it's gonna come exactly as advertised. So it's up to you guys what you want to do. You know my style. I'm paying DHL, I'm paying EMS, I'm buying it mostly from Japan, and it's gonna come here really soon. And I'm willing to pay that price because that price is very similar to buying it from the US store, which you'll get way later on. And then, yeah, let's talk about Kotobukiya really quickly. Let's talk about their packaging. As always, I love, I like good presentation, man. I really do. I like good presentation for the boxes. You can see that they kind of went with like this watercolor kind of design, which is really, just like the show, how they do their animation and everything. It looks really great. The cutouts are great. Just having the pictures on the side is a really good look to the overall quality of the presentation. And yeah, it was packaged really well. I don't have really any complaints. I've opened enough figures right now where like the wow factor, like, wow, this is new, this is different. Like, it starts to become the same when you open up a package. And I kind of hold their boxes as a standard level of if you get by any scale, you should at least get a figure box quality like Kotobukiya's. So let's go back to the figure. And it looks like the sculptor, his name is Matsumoto Koe. And I love the design of this figure. Like, she's dope. Like, even for a guy like myself, like, she's the only other female figure beside Mitsuri Kanroji that you can get. And they're very, very distinct characters. The creator did a really good job creating so many different types of Hashiras with their own unique skills, personalities, that type of thing. And when she came on the scene and killed that one spider creature demon, it was an iconic scene and an iconic moment for the series and this character. And she's always been like that deadly. She's always been, her power is what? It's basically to poison you. But yeah, the sculpting of her figure it's amazing, man. I really, really dig this base. The idea to have these butterflies to kind of come up is really, really cool. And if you get a closer look at her base, you could tell like it kind of has like this frosted, I guess maybe that's not the best way to kind of describe what it looks like, but it kind of has like this translucent, it goes up into being like transparent colored to the butterflies. And I really, really dig that. Look at her base. It kind of looks like some purple ice cream, unicorn ice cream or something. And then it kind of turns into like this translucent, transparent kind of part of her base. And that's a really, really good look to her design. When I got her outside of the box, she came literally on the base still, which is really cool because the Figure Arts one, there's no attachments or anything, right? It's not articulated. So it just came on the base. So this one came on the base as well. And all you needed to do is really attach that second part of her base on there. And it was really, really easy to do. The sword is really, really cool. It's very, very thin though, guys. So, but there are like a sharp part like on the end of her sword. So just be careful with that. And putting it together was just really, really easy. I mean, the base, it just falls into place. The sword, it goes right into her hand. I don't have to use a blow dryer. I don't have to stick anything through her hand to kind of open it up. It fits exactly where it needs to. There's enough room for it to fit in. And once you fit it in, it stays in place, which is really important. You don't want things to kind of shake. And the same thing with her base when I put her last piece to her base on. Once you stick it in, it's good. It's not going to move. And yeah, you're not going to have any problems putting anything on her. So a few things about her paint job. I kind of spent a couple minutes just like staring like around parts of her figure. And where you'll have issues is the painting on the outside of her kind of dress cape, or I don't know what you call this, but her outer shirt cape dress thing. You guys know I'm a dude when I don't even know any fashion. I have no fashion sense though. But where you'll have trouble is the paint. If you look on the outside of her dress or cape, you'll notice like some parts where they had to put something like in place where they're like painting or something. You kind of have to put like a sheet over so you don't paint over it. You kind of see those lines on her cape. And there's some parts where some of the lines, like the black lines, overlap like the little white butterfly little circles. So that part gets in the way. And then on the back of her cape, you can kind of see there are parts of her where the painting, the black paint, it kind of like scrubbed off a little bit. So it's not well defined black line. So there is a little bit of error there. So the outside of her cape, the back side is where you'll see that I have a painting job like error. But overall though, like let's talk about her face, because that is one thing that I was slightly worried about. I was looking online. I was like, there's something weird about her face, or there's some weird paint on her forehead or something. I'm the lucky one, guys. I'm lucky because there's nothing wrong with her face. She looks beautiful. It looks really, her face looks really, really good. Like, I just, one little slight note is just like when I look up at her up close, like I notice like how close her hair is to how like Rengoku's hair looks like. So it's just kind of a weird thing that when I look at her, I kind of see Rengoku because of that little hair at the end. But yeah, she looks good. She feels like a scale figure. She's heavy enough where it's like, wow, I am getting like $100-$200 figure right here. So the figure art Zero, you can see how much smaller she is, and you can see, okay, if you bought ARTFXJ figure, you'll be paying, let's say, around $160 US from a US retail store. So this Kocho figure, you'll be paying around like $85 or a little bit higher for her. And they both look exactly as what they should be priced. Honestly, man, I really love the Kotobukiya figure. She's almost perfect. Like, if you just take out those little minor errors, little painting errors, those are things that you'll only notice if you look up close. But when I took her out of the box and when I just grabbed her, I was like, yo, man, this is this is great. The initial reaction was like amazement, I would want to collect like a lot of these, because if you make any of my favorite characters from whatever show, and it comes in like this scale at this size, she's what, 1/8 scale, that is a good size, honestly. And just comparing both figures, one definitely looks a lot less than the other. And from afar, they both look great. The Kotobukiya, even though there are some errors on there, like, it's still definitely a lot better than the figure art Zero one, because the figure art Zero one, she looks really, really great, and it's great for like a casual fan. But if you want to take a little step higher, you'd want to get this Kotobukiya one. Like, to be honest, my tastes are like of higher quality. And so I think most people's taste is like, it's just whether or not we could afford it or not, or that's basically what it comes down to. We all want the most cool thing possible, to be honest. And she is definitely, one of my favorites. And Kotobukiya is one of my favorite companies to get figures from anyway. So the design, the painting was okay. The design is what makes figures for me. That's what I base my judgment off of. I see the prototype looks cool, the pose looks great. What does the base look like? The base looks amazing. This is a great design. With the butterflies, you kind of have like that that creamy look that goes into like this translucent, kind of transparent, kind of colorway. So yeah, and then her face, the base and the face, I say that a lot. It kind of rhymes. But the face, she looks exactly like Kocho. There's no painting error on my figure, on her face, on her forehead, or anything like that. She looks beautiful. This is a great, great figure. And I would totally recommend this. It was easy to put together. And yeah, if she's like one of your favorite characters, or if you really like this character, this one is 100% a must get. You gotta get this figure, because what I was comparing to on my last blog post was, okay, you get the cheaper figure art Zero, which has a really good design, but she's a little bit smaller. You might have a little bit more painting errors. Or you could, the other one I was comparing to is the Aniplex one, where she's kind of upside down. The design is a little bit more dynamic, but she's upside down, so it's kind of like it throws you off visually that there might be a little bit too much going on right there. So the happy medium for the design from the prototype pictures was this Kotobukiya one. And yes, I still hold my opinion that this is going to end up being my favorite one out of all of three of the kind of figures that she has out there that I can get my hands on. That is 2021 and later. I know she has some other older figures, but let's not talk about those. Let's talk about the three that we can, that's more affordable that we could get right now. So this Kotobukiya one, she's still, I think she's still on AmiAmi.com. Let me check real quick. Yeah, she is still on AmiAmi.com as of March 20th when I'm making this video. So, yo, you guys, what I say about Kotobukiya, you're gonna get her on release most likely. They always make, you know, they don't oversaturate it, but they saturate the amount of quantity of her out there where you're not gonna have trouble getting her on the release date. And the good thing is there's other people like myself that do reviews of these figures. So by the time I have this out, she's probably still gonna be available. So yeah. If you guys are thinking about getting this figure and she's one of your favorite characters and you're not gonna break the bank to get her, and you know you're not gonna go in debt by getting her. So yeah, if you had questions and this is something that's on your wish list, get this figure, man. She's cool, she's good. No problems with the face, the base, the face is great, the design is great, easy to put together. And yeah, she's probably gonna go down as personally my favorite figure out of all the ones I've seen. She has enough of a personality to her face with her pose that's dynamic enough for me. Yeah, guys, I don't really have much else to say. I recommend this figure. She looks great. She's of the quality for the price, if not even better, because I could see myself paying up to like $230, $250 for a figure like this. And if she was like a 1/7, 1/6 scale, like I would definitely pay that price for this figure. But 1/8 scale, she still looks pretty big. And especially if you're comparing it to the figure art zero, she's definitely bigger. Feels valuable. She looks valuable. They did a good job. As always, Kotobukiya, a good brand, and I totally recommend. So yeah, before I close out this video, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Please check out my blog at otakusin.com. I do the figure reviews there as well. So anything I miss in the video, I'll have it there. I have more pictures. And you can go ahead and check out any of my other unboxing videos that I've done. I did an unboxing video with this figure art zero figure right before this ARTFX J figure. So you could check that out. I also cover other anime, so like Ranking of Kings, Attack on Titan, and if you're just now watching Demon Slayer, where you've been at. But I've done reviews for the whole entertainment arc district. That's also on my blog as well. And if you guys are struggling with like budgeting with, you know, buying figures and pre-orders and that type of thing, like I use a spreadsheet, so I actually have a blog post about that as well, and how I use credit cards to save a little bit of money. So you guys want to check that out. So yeah, overall, I recommend this figure. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I'll see you guys on the next video.